Hey guys, Meg here. It's day 6 on the Appalachian Trail. So today we hiked 13 miles to a place called Rocky Mountain Shelter. It's just outside Waynesboro, heading north. And yeah, it was a good day. The sun was shining. It was 12 degrees. It's supposed to be not too cold tonight, which is really nice after the last week. And yeah, we're feeling really good. So staying at the shelter, when we rolled up here, there's another couple, Cross-Stitch and Hikezilla. And we actually met them on the train. Then we stayed at the shelter. The first night we were in a shelter outside Harper's Ferry, they were there. And then we ran into them here and we passed them and didn't think we'd see them again. But after our zero, here they are. So it's all really cool. I'm really loving the community feel of the trail. Like, I'm starting to appreciate the grapevine, how everyone's passing information up and down the trail or in the trail journals. So if you're looking for someone in particular, you're wondering where they are, because that's what you do. You're just walking and thinking all day. Yeah, it's cool just to find people. There's a real good sense of community, and everyone has been super friendly. And I get super excited when I roll up to shelters to see who's there and who I'm gonna get to have dinner with that night. Anyways, I am actually gonna go back up and sit with everyone else now. I just snuck off to make this little video and go to the privy. It's day 7 on the AT. We are just heading out of a little town called Fayetteville, and we had the most amazing breakfast at this place called Timbers, and the breakfast was so good, and there were so many hikers there, and the people who run it are absolutely amazing. So I mean, it's only like 11 a.m., but that has definitely been the highlight of my day today. Heading to Birch Run Shelter for the night. We're roundabout there. It's about a 13-mile day for us, and feeling pretty good. Probably got about 5 miles to go before we get there. Yeah, it's beautiful. The sun is out again today. There's lots of people on the trail, and yeah, it's a good day. Hey, Meg here. It's another beautiful day on the AT. Today is day number 8, which is crazy. Time's been flying by. Every day is different, but really similar. And yeah, last night was Saturday night, and there was like 20 tents at the shelter we were at, and the shelter was full, and that had about 10 bunks in it at Birch Run. So it was pretty busy on the trails yesterday, and then today it's like everyone's evaporated. And it looks like I got a trail name over the last couple days. Matt started calling me Snacks, and it kind of stuck, so I've been introducing myself as Snacks. And yeah, I guess it took about a week, but I've got one. So no longer Meg. Me and Matt, people were calling us M&M, but I don't love that. So I'm glad I got a trail name now. And it's like 17 degrees today. It is the nicest day. It's perfect hiking weather. Seems to be a lot of rocks. We haven't even got to Duncannon yet, Pennsylvania, but definitely we've had some really nice kind of breakaways where you can just walk straight for a while. And then there seems to be a lot of rocks, but you got to be really careful while you're walking on them, because when you stand on the tips at the end of the day, it just feels like your feet have been like pounded with a meat tenderizer all day. Hi there. So the plan today, we were just gonna go 10 miles into Boiling Springs today, and thinking, oh yeah, that'll be a nice cruisy day, and then we can kind of take the rest of the day off and rest up a bit, especially after yesterday. We did about 17 miles, so feeling a little bit fatigued today. So we're almost to Boiling Springs, and I'm exhausted. Like, I don't know if it was the big day we did yesterday, or if it's the terrain. Like there were so many ups and downs today, or maybe it's day 9 today, so maybe it's just, you know, an accumulation. Oh my God, there's deer there. Can you see them? Oh. I really hope you could have seen that, because man, that was so cool. They just like busted out of the woods to my left, and there was, I think, 4 of them, and they're just racing down through the woods across the trail. I've got goosebumps. That was awesome. I'm glad I didn't miss that. Matt's up ahead of me, so hopefully he heard them and he looked back. Back to what I was saying, like nothing like really hurts. Like I don't have any like big issues. I don't have any big blisters or anything. Like a few hot spots and sore areas, but they kind of change every day, so it's nothing major. It's really just just tired. I am just really looking forward to having a beer in Boiling Springs.
Maine.
Hey, how's it going? Meg here. Today is day 10 for us on the AT. So today's been a bit interesting. Last night I got into Boiling Springs and I was supposed to pick up some poles at the post office there, and unfortunately they hadn't arrived, but it had said they were delivered. So I stayed in a little town close by called Carlisle, and then went back to Boiling Springs in the morning. They still weren't there, so I ended up having lunch at the tavern and waiting, and they still never came. So I ended up getting them sent back to the seller that I bought them from, and hopefully we'll get a refund for that. And then found out that across the street, the poles that I'd ordered, there's like a little fly fishing shop that just said had a tiny bit of hiker gear. Turns out they had the exact same poles that I wanted to buy. So yeah, it was kind of a weird day, because we spent about 3 hours just hanging out in Boiling Springs. It was nice though. The Boiling Springs Tavern is amazing. Food's really good. Drinks were good. I had a beer, and yeah, it was just a good spot to hang out. And actually, it's the nicest bar restaurant we've been into since we've been on the AT. Yeah, so anyways, we're on our way. It's like 5:30 right now, about a mile to go, and it's all uphill before we get to the Darlington shelter for the night. There's Matt. What's up, Matt?
We gotta get water.
And we have to filter water because there's none at the shelter, is there?
No, there's a sign there.
Oh, yeah. There's a sign here, which is really nice because there's not always signs, and sometimes we have to find them on the Gut Hook app. I don't know if you can see it there, but usually we have to look for people's comments on the Gut Hook app to see if we need water or not, because usually there is water at the shelter, but it can just be a little bit inconvenient, like a 100, 200 foot, 300 foot walk down a hill when you've just changed into your Crocs and you're getting comfortable for the night, and you definitely don't want to do that. Yeah, so that's that. Oh, and we got little tags in Boiling Springs as well. We were supposed to pick them up in Harper's Ferry at the ATC. They're just Thru hiker tags, leave no trace principle for this year, but it's pretty cool. I guess it identifies us as through hikers instead of section hikers. Yeah, I feel a bit more like a thru hiker now. Oh, and today, guess who did 100 miles? Us. We did. So that was awesome, passing that point. So we're probably, I think we're at about 110, around there right now. So yeah, so that was sweet. It was the middle of a cornfield somewhere and wasn't anything special, but we knew where the 100-mile point was from where the Potomac River was in Harper's Ferry, 100 miles from there. So yeah, so that was pretty awesome. And yeah, that's like 5%, not even. But I feel good, yeah. Hey, good morning. It's day 11 today, and when we woke up, it was not really raining. It was just kind of like really heavy fog and a little bit of mist, and it's starting to turn it up a bit. Had to put my rain jacket on, but the weather's really pleasant. I'm wearing shorts, so yeah, it's really not bad. We're heading into Duncannon today. Not sure if we're gonna stay there yet, but we really want to check out the Doyle. Probably definitely not gonna sleep there from what we've heard, but apparently the food's really good, so might do that. But that's about 10 miles from where we slept last night. Hey, we'll see. It's a bit creepy in the woods in Pennsylvania today. Good morning. So we stayed at the Doyle in Duncannon last night, and I'll show you our room. It's actually it was a little bit spooky coming into this place through the door creak, but it's pretty cool. It's just our little room. So, got a fan, a drop cloth is the curtain, little bureau, the bed. Yeah, and this is where you walk out to. It kind of has that feel like a haunted house when I first came up to look at the room last night. But I like it. It was good. I don't know, it's a hot shower. It was only $35 for 2 people for the night. I'm clean. I'm well rested. It was raining last night, so I didn't sleep in the rain. And yeah, it's definitely comparable to lots of places that I stayed in when I was traveling around India a few years ago. But that's cool. It's good. See that bucket? That's for the drips in case it rains really hard too. And the bathroom. Stock standard, really. Ooh, it's nice and sunny out today. Oh, awesome. It's a cracking, yeah, it's a cracking morning in Duncannon. Hey, how's it going? Meg here. It's day 13 on the AT, and it was a big day. So it was raining this morning when we left the last shelter, and we had 18 miles to go to get to the following shelter tonight. And it's supposed to rain tonight or tomorrow morning as well. So we thought, we'll just do another big day. And it was a big day. There wasn't a ton of scenery. It was mainly rocks and trees, and we were definitely in the green tunnel all day. A few really nice little streams to stop by. We put in a solid 8+ hours of walking, hiking, and I'm absolutely shattered. I'm so tired right now. My feet are burning. I cannot wait to get to camp, which is like, there's a sign behind me there. It's 0.3 miles from here. So I pretty much feel like I'm at the finish line. Yeah, I wanted to record earlier, but I was just kind of really, all my energy was going into kind of moving forward and getting here and staying dry earlier. So I'm gonna go eat dinner now and get into my sleeping bag, and I'm really looking forward to going to sleep, probably within the next hour or so. Yeah. So hey, how's it going? It is Meg here, day 14 on the AT, and still in Pennsylvania. Just climbed up a massive hill. It was about 1,000 feet, but it happened pretty quickly over the course of like, I think a mile or so. So that was fun. And for the very first time, like, I just got sticks not too long ago, and a few days, and I really understand now why people hike with trekking poles. It's like, it just gives you that extra burst of energy, and you're not relying on your legs so much when you're going up those big hills, and you can just really get into your arms. And I really enjoyed it, actually. It made going up that incline like just feel that much more easier on my body, and yeah, I'm stoked. So today we're just doing a cruisy 14 miles to a shelter. Last night we were supposed to stay in the shelter, like I said, but then when I walked up there was like a bunch of guys hanging out, and there wasn't a ton of room. Like, they said they could make room in the shelter, but yeah, didn't seem like it would be super easy. So we saw a nice spot on the way in, down near a creek, so we thought we'd go down and camp there, and the sun was out. It looked really good. So we're like, whatever, it's probably not going to rain anyway. And then we left the fly open and some clothes out, and then it rained. But lesson learned, which is always expect rain, and then when you don't get rain, be super happy that you didn't get rained on. So it's been actually really tricky filming lately. I gotta put this down for a sec. Alright, that is actually a little bit better. I kept putting my finger over the recording part. So yeah, I was just saying, it's been difficult to film when I'm walking, just because I'm huffing and puffing, going up a hill, dodging around rocks. Like, usually I'm not getting this kind of straightaway that's happening right now, and I can just cruise. And then at night, when I thought I'd be laying in my sleeping bag, just being able to edit a few clips that I took earlier to post onto YouTube, man, I've just been so tired. Like, I haven't really been doing it, and I hope to. I've been taking like a clip every day, but nothing crazy. Once you spend all the sunlight hours walking, and then it seems like you get to camp, you eat dinner, hang your bear bag, set up your tent, get your sleeping bag out, brush your teeth, wet wipe, clean yourself, maybe soak your feet in the stream. Not really hanging out, you're kind of doing all these little responsibilities to get yourself ready for bed and kind of prepared for hiking the next day. And yeah, just been tired. Like, shattered is definitely a good word. Pennsylvania's been pretty good to us, though. We've heard a lot about how the terrain is, super rocky, and everyone calls it Rocksylvania. But really, like, we've had definitely some rock gardens, as I've heard someone describe it earlier today. There's little rock gardens, and then there's inclines and declines over rocks, and then you get like nice smooth straightaways that are definitely littered with rocks, but are pretty passable at the same time. So I'm really enjoying Pennsylvania, and tomorrow is shower day, so I am looking forward to that. So right after I put down my phone from filming that last bit, saying, oh yeah, it's all these cruisy rock gardens and breakaways, the trail just abruptly turned into this. And the rocks are shaky and definitely unstable, and they move on you, and you can spot you can kind of see a white blaze up there, so that is where I'm going. Matt is way off in the distance, and I definitely have to put my phone down to do this safely. Hey, how's it going? Meg here. Today is actually day 22 on the AT. It's our last day in Pennsylvania. We're actually just hiking down to Delaware Water Gap, and I stopped to take this little video. So I think the last day I filmed was about day 15 or so, so it was at least a week ago. And what I filmed, I actually said how Pennsylvania wasn't as bad as I thought, and the rocks were really bearable, and yeah, so that changed. And the terrain got pretty hard, and it's totally manageable if you're doing small days or you're out on a day hike or section hike, but I think like all the accumulated standing on rocks and kind of like balancing on tippy rocks and scaling boulders and stuff, it got super intense. And yeah, I'm so tired at the end of every day. I was not able or even wanting to film it all. My feet were really good up until then, and now I have like 6 or 7 blisters. We also had like a heat wave as well, and it was about, for you Americans, it was like in the 80s and around there, high 80s, and that went on for like 4 or 5 days. So I think like the sweatiness and the rocks and the boulders, like my feet are hurting right now. We did a bunch of days between kind of 12 and 18 miles. So yeah, it's been super intense. Lots of looking at my feet and looking at the rocks, because as soon as you look up and you're walking, like you're definitely gonna stub your toe or worse. So it was, yeah. So it's just a lot of focusing. It was almost like a moving meditation. So you're always looking at your feet and always looking at where your feet will go and where the rocks are and where your poles are going. So it's quite intense. The time flies by fast, but yeah, my feet definitely hurt. But very good news. We actually only have a couple miles to go before we're at Delaware Water Gap, and that is the end of Pennsylvania, the end of Rocksylvania. So I enjoyed it. Like I definitely have been enjoying myself because everything is new and it's novel and it's just really fun to be out here. But my feet are really looking forward to not having as many sharp, stabby rocks. I don't know, maybe New Jersey will be like that as well, but we'll see. So what I kind of missed, like the highlights, we came up Lehigh Gap, and that was hand over hand scrambling up a rock face. And we left early morning, so it was actually really nice. The temperature was really bearable. And apparently when we got down the trail that day, someone told us that that's one of like the highlights of south of Maine and like one of the hardest climbs, and we really we thought that was cool, so we enjoyed it. And so that was fun because we didn't psych ourselves out about it, I guess, because we didn't know it was we didn't know what we were getting ourselves into. Going over the rocks, I stepped over a rattlesnake. There's like pretty big rocks, and it was like about a 3-foot step or 2 to 3 foot step between the two rocks, and I stepped over it and I heard like almost like a maraca shaking sound, and I stopped and I pulled out one of my earbuds and I like kind of like backed up a little bit, and I heard it again. I was like, shit, I've never heard rattlesnake before. And then I looked down and there's one coiled up in the well of like between the rocks that I just stepped over. So that was really cool that I got to see one. And then yesterday, I think it was, I saw like a massive black rat snake. And I was coming down the trail and I was moving pretty quick, and I didn't see the snake and the snake didn't see me, and we both scared each other, and he coiled and jumped back and I did the same thing, and then he slithered away. So that was kind of cool. But yeah, there's definitely, with all this warm weather, there's definitely lots of snakes coming out. Oh, and all the trees, like you can kind of see behind me and around there, there's all the trees had little buds on them when we first started the trail, but like nothing had burst into green at all. And now the trees are covered in green. And when you look out over the views, you're not just looking at like kind of sticks and like a barren treetops. It's like big bright green colors already, and the trees, they're not quite full yet, but the green's really making a difference. And in the last week, so many more birds have come out. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Anyways, I'm gonna get hiking, and this is going to be maybe my last video for Pennsylvania. We will see if there's anything cool to film in Delaware Water Gap. But we're taking a Nero today, so just 6 miles and total. And then tomorrow we're having a full 0 day, and we're just gonna relax and have a Corona and eat some hot food and have a shower, because it has been a week, which is like definitely too long to not have a shower. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'm sorry I cut you out of my last week in Pennsylvania. That was like the crucial week, probably the one that you wanted to see, but all you would have seen is rocks and me standing still filming like I am right now talking about the rocks. So yeah, it's probably a good thing. You need to come experience it for yourself. Cool. Anyways, take care, and on to New Jersey.